Sally Mann's artwork, On the Creative Life, is a deeply personal meditation on the joys, struggles, and contradictions of living as an artist. Mann, celebrated for her evocative photography and fearless exploration of themes like family, mortality, and the southern landscape, turns her lens inward to examine what it means to sustain a creative life over decades. Her central thesis is that art is not merely a product, but a way of being, an ongoing negotiation between inspiration, discipline, sacrifice, and authenticity. The memoir begins with Mann's reflections on the origins of creativity. She describes how her childhood experiences, family dynamics, and early encounters with photography shaped her artistic vision. Creativity, she argues, is not a gift bestowed randomly, but a practice cultivated through curiosity, risk, and persistence. Mann emphasizes that the artist's task is to remain open to the world, to see deeply, and to translate that vision into form. A major theme is the tension between art and life. Mann candidly explores the sacrifices required to sustain a creative career, financial insecurity, public scrutiny, and the strain on relationships. She acknowledges the guilt of balancing motherhood with artistic ambition, the difficulty of carving out time for work, and the vulnerability of exposing personal subjects to the public eye. Yet she insists that art is inseparable from life, that the two enrich and challenge each other in complex ways. Another theme is discipline and persistence. Mann rejects the romantic notion of inspiration as a lightning bolt. Instead, she portrays art as a daily practice requiring patience, repetition, and resilience. She describes the long hours in the darkroom, the frustrations of failed experiments, and the necessity of continuing even when motivation wanes. Discipline, she argues, is the foundation that allows inspiration to flourish. The book also explores authenticity and risk. Mann emphasizes the importance of honesty in art, of confronting uncomfortable truths and resisting the temptation to please audiences. She recounts controversies surrounding her work, particularly her photographs of her children, and reflects on the courage required to remain true to her vision. Authentic art, she insists, often provokes discomfort, but it is precisely this discomfort that makes it transformative. Another key theme is mortality and impermanence. Mann, whose work often grapples with death and decay, reflects on how awareness of mortality shapes creativity. Art becomes a way of confronting impermanence, of preserving fleeting moments, and of finding meaning in transience. She suggests that the creative life is, at its core, an act of defiance against oblivion. The book also highlights community and solitude. Mann acknowledges the importance of mentors, peers, and audiences in sustaining an artist's journey, while also emphasizing the necessity of solitude for deep work. The creative life oscillates between connection and isolation, between sharing and retreating. Both are essential for growth. Stylistically, Mann writes with lyrical intensity and intellectual depth. Her prose mirrors her photography, evocative, layered, and unafraid of darkness. She blends personal narrative with philosophical reflection, making the book both intimate and universal. Her tone is candid, often self-critical, yet ultimately affirming of the creative life. Importantly, Mann reframes success as not fame or recognition, but integrity. The true measure of an artist is not external validation, but fidelity to one's vision. She warns against chasing trends or pandering to audiences, insisting that authentic art arises from inner necessity. Ultimately, artwork, On the Creative Life, is both a memoir and a manifesto. It teaches that creativity is a way of living, that discipline sustains inspiration, that authenticity requires risk, and that art is inseparable from life. Mann's message is clear: the creative life is demanding, messy, and uncertain, but it is profoundly meaningful and transformative.